Hi, welcome to Parkies and Me, my journey with Parkinson's. My name's Sue and I'm a 63-year-old woman with Parkinson's. I've also been working for the last 11 years as a social worker, working with people with neurological conditions. And my parents also had Parkinson's. What caused me to actually think that I might have Parkinson's and seek a diagnosis? For some reason I always thought that I would get Parkinson's. When I noticed tremors and things, I thought maybe I'm just being hypervigilant because of my parents. Then I noticed that I'd be sitting on the couch and I'd feel my hand start to twitch, and then it would visibly shake quite badly. Now, it didn't happen every night, but it happened frequently enough that I thought, I need to get this checked out. I came back to my GP and said I would like to have an assessment done by a neurologist. The GP then looked at me and said, I've not seen any sign of a tremor while we've been talking. I said, it doesn't happen all the time, but there have been enough things happening that caused me to question, have I got Parkinson's disease? Although he was quite reluctant to refer me to the neurologist, he agreed to do so. I know that for me, I'm very self-aware of anything that's different with my body, and so that may cause me to go to the doctor more frequently than some. Sometimes this GP may have thought that I was a bit of a hypochondriac, the frequent presenter, but I must say most of the things that I presented for was correct, and it did work out that I needed some attention. So he then referred me to the neurologist. When I first got there, I saw his registrar, which is the way things are usually done. She asked me a few questions, gave me some physical tests, then went out of the room and talked to the neurologist, and then they both returned. He got me to do a few more tests, asked me more questions, and then he uttered those fateful words, yes, you do have Parkinson's disease. I turned around and said, is there any doubt? And he said, no doubt whatsoever. So just like that, I was a person with Parkinson's disease, and my husband by association was also affected. The next thing that happened was I went to work the same day, and I was sitting at my desk, and a colleague came in. She walked past my desk and must have seen something in me and said, are you all right, Sue? I turned to her and I said, I've just been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. She said, when did this happen? This morning. She then turned around and said, what are you doing at work? And I burst into tears and went home. I worked in a neurological ward, and so I knew that people would start to notice things happening for me. I decided that I would be open and honest and tell people from the beginning. It was the best thing I could have done. It allowed me to educate people about my particular journey with Parkinson's and to answer any questions they might have. It also enabled me to share with people what I found difficult and what I needed help with. I also talked to my children immediately after my diagnosis, and both of them said, what can we do to support you? And I said, just be there when I need you. Do your workmates know that you have Parkinson's? And if not, why not? Do you have some concerns that perhaps people may judge you differently, think of you differently, and it may affect your job? For me, it certainly did affect my job in that people were more understanding, so in the beginning it was a positive thing. Over time, it began to impact my work that I wasn't fully aware of. When I was first diagnosed, I had a really good colleague that I trusted, and I asked her, please tell me when Parkinson's was affecting my work and my ability to do it properly. One day that started out just like any other day, she came to me and said, hey Sue, after the meeting can we have coffee together? And I said, sure, that'd be lovely. So I went and got my coffee and waited for her. She turned up, sat down and said to me, Sue, right back at the beginning, you asked me to tell you when things were going wrong, when you weren't quite performing. I could see in her eyes that this was a difficult conversation for her. She said, I've been noticing that you've been more forgetful lately, that you repeat things and that you aren't as sharp and quick to respond as you had been before. She said, you asked me to tell you this and I'm so sorry. If you hadn't made me promise, I wouldn't have said anything. That was the beginning of my decision to quit work, and while it was hard, in the end she did me a favour. I stepped back and thought things through for myself and realised that her words were true. It is one of the biggest decisions I ever made to retire, but it's also one of the best.